Pace car is off. We're ready to roll here from Richmond for 160 laps. Stages 40, 40, 80. Stage 1 into lap 40, stage 2 into lap 80. A fuel run approximately 58 to 61 or so laps. We're underway here at Richmond as Kyle Larson leads the way down into turn 1. Corey LaJoy, a fantastic start in that number 7 in third place. I'm joined by Fast Cook Live as usual up here in the booth. Jay, here in Richmond Raceway, fresh off of finally seeing Chase Elliott get to victory lane and certainly dampening some of the field's hopes of potentially a possible of Elliott, of course, not getting into the playoffs.
And Larson struggling the last couple of weeks, Gary, has allowed Chastain to move into second points now, 36 behind Chase Elliott, Harvick 53 behind, Larson 54 behind, Cindric 64 behind, and Byron 64 behind. So really, those top 7 drivers are still within the hunt of Chase Elliott for that regular season championship. And here's 2 of those drivers right here, Gary, side by side for the lead. Kyle Larson, Ross Chastain breaking away from the pack already, and Chastain by Kyle Larson as well.
Chastain, of course, winning on that tear, has now got 4 wins on the season. He's kind of calmed down a bit here in about the last, 3 to 4 weeks or so.
38 points back, so still those 3 JGR cars fighting for that last playoff spot. And speaking of fighting 3 cars, that's 3 right there. Hamlin is on the inside of the 38. Blaney up on the high side slips back, and that's allowing those Hamlin and McDowell to get by. But Gary, Hamlin and McDowell, at this point, McDowell has slipped down to only 32 above the cut line as well. So the 34 no longer as safe as he was. I think it was 50 or 60 points above the cut line in laps, Gary. He was started up front. Now he's outside the top 10 and falling further as well.
Yes, he qualified in 3rd position. That time by, he was 11th down to 12th there, getting passed by Denny Hamlin. How about William Byron struggling a little bit in this number 24 car? Of course, Byron is still in the battle for the regular season championship.
Looking pretty good here in Richmond. Also, Christopher Bell as well. We were just looking at him a moment ago. He was behind Logano, now trying to make a pass on Logano, get himself up into 4th place and around this 22. Actually, he's already scored around the 22 car, so get himself inside the top 5.
Actually, 1st through 4th, they're all spread out quite the same, and then now these two, Bell, Logano with 20 laps to go in stage 1, going at it again. Of course, we saw Bell pass at 22. Hamlin, of course, has been continuing to move forward into stage points paying position. So McDowell, I mean, he's been a part of some trouble recently there. Crash in, Pocono, and I think the week before as well. And we already talked about his point gap continuing to get lower and lower. And that's he had to go and pass Larson to take that lead. But Chastain comes into today with 3 stage wins. He's going to exit turn 4 and make that a 4th stage win of the season here in Richmond. Larson, Harvick 2nd and 3rd. Elliott hangs on there. Bell stays in the top 5. And Hamlin, Truex to the line. That's a big point right there at the end of the season. Hamlin gets Truex at the line for 2 points. Maybe maintains 2nd is close, but yes, he will. As you can see, really not much changes aside from the 48 losing out and the 34 making a pretty hefty gain. So yeah, oh, actually, 22. Joey Logano. 6th place in the stage.
Really slow stop.
Ready to roll for stage 2. Chastain, Larson, your same front row as the original start. And look at that. We've seen it time and time again this season. It's not every restart, but that 5 on the outside with a great launch. Jay down into turn 1. He's lucky we can't, of course, penalize the leader on a restart, but he takes the lead into turn 1. Is there 3 wide in the back?
Chase Elliott.
That was close.
Chase Elliott 3 wide almost with Kyle Busch. Thought he was going to get dumped by the 8 car, but luckily they all got away with it. And Chase Elliott not able to take advantage of the outside lane like Kyle Larson was. Larson rocketed out to the lead away from Chastain. Now Chastain has to deal with Harvick all over him. 3 wide back here further in the pack as well. That's Allmendinger, Joey Logano, who we just saw have a awful pit stop and lost a ton of positions. Now stuck in the middle, 3 wide. That's a car high up on the outside, way up on the outside, up ahead. That was William Byron. But look at the actual advantage he gets, Gary. He got a huge run down the back straightaway. Gets cleared now to the inside of LaJoy into turn 3.
There he goes, up the inside of LaJoy.
And Truex and done a really nice job so far. Hamlin struggling up on the outside.
Oh yeah,
right
he's
there, almost
big time.
Taking 3 wide. Might be some contact there for a second between the 24 and the 11. Still on the outside of 3 wide as they go into turn 3. Hamlin, Gary, did a really nice job in stage 1. Was able to finish ahead of Truex in the stage as well. And my goodness, look at the awful run he gets on the outside there. Loses a bunch of spots. This 11 car is going backwards fast, Gary. Now he's right there with the 34 McDowell, who we were just talking about. He was running so much better than him. A good point advantage. Contact again. Oh my goodness, things keep getting worse for Hamlin.
This is not good for Denny Hamlin. The battle for the lead, I think, seating up. Let's take a very quick look. Chastain's to the bumper, but Hamlin maybe the wrong way in the pit lane there, is that team is struggling. That car is well outside now of the top 10. Look at them really checking up right there into turn 1. Absolute mayhem here. He is way out of the groove, and they continue 3 wide, Jay, into turn 3.
But was able to keep His car off of the 20 car. The 20 car able to keep off of the wall, and he still has a good momentum to the inside, the line you want to be in as well. This 48 car, Gary, like you mentioned, in a must-win situation, not mathematically there yet, but over 100 points out. I believe over 100 points out of the playoffs right now. And if you're the 48 team, you're just focusing on a win. Almost contact again in turn 2 right there between the 20 and the 48.
Hamlin there seems to have settled in as well. Speaking of Bubba Wallace, says they are crashing into the outside wall. All right, then. I don't know exactly what happened there. But the 41 and the 43 pretty well banged the right side off their cars pretty good right there. I mean, clearly there's some work to do. And that 11 cam is he nearly right hooks the 38 into the outside wall. And yeah, that's going to allow the 2 to just say thank you very much. I mean, Hamlin's not having a pretty stage 2 and obviously not very good for him.
Kyle Larson.
Larson through 3 and 4 for the final time. 1.8 seconds up the road. Chastain didn't have anything for him. Larson wins stage number 2. That will be his 5th stage win of the season, tying the most of the season with none other than Michael McDowell. 5, who's going to win the race out of the pit lane. So Chastain, he'll come out in second place. He's
not going to get him.
Almost did, but not quite enough there. True. Ready to go for stage 3. Larson now in the position you don't want to be in, and that's proven immediately. Jay, before we even hit the start-finish line, Chastain is clear, and Elliott's alongside that number 5.
This might be an even worse restart this time for the inside than it was last time. Chase Elliott wasn't able to get past the front row on the inside, and this time he might be able to. No, Kyle Larson keeps second position, but he does lose the position to Ross Chastain, who once again goes back to the lead, Gary. This 1 of the 5 have been the 2 dominant cars in the race so far. You're way up on the outside back there, not 3 wide, but decided to go up all the way to the outside anyways. And then further back here, you got 3 wide with McDowell and Briscoe in the 45, and that allows Hamlin this time again to take advantage on the inside of 3 wide instead of the outside of 3 wide. I think I just saw Harvick get past Chase Elliott up there in the front car. At least he was in a position to get past him. But then 3 wide here as well between another couple of Penske teammates. We've seen a lot of Penske teammates 3 wide tonight, and that's going to be contact a little bit between the 2 and the 22.
Kyle Larson and Harvick got past Elliott. Elliott's back up the inside now.
Whoa,
yeah, I saw that. He shot way up.
Big slide.
Big time. Because Keselowski, surprisingly, Jay's he's now gonna look to the inside through 3 and 4.
He shoved his way in there, made Truex move. Truex left the door open a tiny bit, and Keselowski said, "Thank you very much, sir. I'll put my way in there and put Truex on the outside. Keselowski to the inside now, making a move for that 6th position is the 6 of Brad Keselowski. 10.
Back on his team. Oh, the 48. Wow, he was way out of the groove right there. That nearly turned into an accident. But no, Bell's going to drive right on past him, take 9th place away. Bowman down to 10th.
I'm just saying.
Something's gone wrong.
Someone there actually might have seen
Caution.
Someone slapped the wall up here. Caution.
Oh, my God.
It's the 51? 15?
Yes. All right. Riding around for last. Looks like, I think he got wrecked. I'm going to assume it
looks like he got wrecked.
Yeah, that rear end's a bit destroyed.
For last.
Larson's not going to be second.
Larson, awful stop, and that's going to be
down to
maybe
4th.
Even Kyle Busch. I'm not sure how they're going to score that, but it should be Kyle Busch in the 3rd. It is.
Watch this. The 15 of Brennan Poole blows up in the middle of 3 and 4, right in front of his teammate of Yaley, who's going to turn him around, and then Ty Dillon says, "I want a part of this." Boom. Destroys him. Caution flies. We're ready to go green. Jay Harvick is now in perfect position to take the lead on the restart, and could Kyle Larson follow him? He's already got that launch. The outside is, 3 for 3 on restarts here today, and Larson is going to try and follow through on the exit of 2.
Kyle Larson, I don't think is going to be able to get clear of Ross Chastain. He will not be able to get clear of him. So Chastain will stay in 2nd place, like we have seen in every restart night, Gary. But Harvick does go to the lead, but Chastain is all over his bumper already.
Yeah.
Byron in the background getting high in the up the track as well, and Keselowski can get to his inside, but I don't think it's going to be long before Chastain gets by Kevin Harvick, Gary. He's all over the back bumper of him and might have to bump him in a moment. I think he just did.
You heard it from Jay. Byron gets high in Richmond as they continue down the back straightaway. Larson maybe looking to make it 3 into turn 3, but no, Harvick stays clear. But Larson, that's a bold move, Jay. It allows him to get up the inside and put Chastain back. They continue on to the background going wide. Now there is cars spread out all over the place back here. I'm starting to wonder if something's happened, and I think that answers. I think that answers the question. Watch the top of your screen. Ryan Blaney is kind of hard to see, but he pops off the wall right there, bounces into the 54. Gibbs saves it, but then the 31 turns the 10 into the inside wall, and then Yaley couldn't hit the brakes, and Austin Dillon gets rammed from behind, and the 51, of course, gets involved. We've seen the trends. We already know Larson's going to get the lead here on this restart now. I mean, you can see him edging ahead. This would be a black flag every time. In real life, of course, now, but it's just the way with the mod for the restarts. But here's something new. Jay Byron's firing one up the inside of Chastain.
And Chastain got moved again. That's 2 or 3 times the contact between the 24 and
Oh,
the 1.
Blaney again in the wall.
Oh, Blaney, yeah, I think he did get in the wall back there, and that's going to be 3 wide here with Chastain up on the outside. This might be the furthest back, or will be the furthest back we've seen in the entire race so far.
Chastain with a terrible restart. Oh, big accident on the exit of turn 2. Hamlin head on in the inside wall. Ty Gibbs, Bowman. Elliott's got some contact as well. Oh, my goodness. Was that an impact on the exit of turn 2? Not sure exactly what caused it, but of course, you saw the impacts there. Look at this, 3x3, 2 rows deep. Gibbs, Hamlin, contact there. Oh my goodness, big impacts there. Kozlowski with nowhere to go. He was, of course, at the front of it and just got hooked. As look at the track blocker there. Several cars involved. Get Harvick this time in position to take the lead for another restart. Stage 3 has been where the chaos is picked up. Jay and I thought it would be stage 2. No, stage 3. Bell has entered the equation. Chastain has fallen back in the background. You could already see a little bit of action there. Cars sending it. Bell way up the track there, Jay. And alrighty, look at this mess.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, things really have kicked off in stage 3. That's Chase Elliott somehow still in this race. I thought he would be out after that contact that he had, and that's leaving these guys to go 3 and 4 wide back here in the background. But up as they have a pass possibly going on for the lead as well. Kyle Larson, that 5 car, Mr. Strong, right to the inside of Harvick, but Harvick forces him to check up on the inside lane. Got a good run there. This is actually turning into a pretty good scrap, and now we might see Kyle Busch or Bell get involved in this battle as well.
Look at those guys. They're bumper to bumper right there on each other. Larson's not quite clear yet to cross the start-finish line. 35 laps to go here in Richmond. That's not a lot of time, with about a 26 or so second. I'm completely off. 21 or so second lap time. Larson clear.
Inside the playoffs, if things finish the way that they are, he might be ahead of Hamlin after this race here in Richmond. And Bell trying to squeeze Kyle Busch.
Oh, he put him in the wall. He gave him a lane, though.
Bell ahead of him for position. Chastain able to get around Kyle Busch as well, but the 20 car, Gary, making his way forward, had to put Kyle Busch in the wall right there to get up.
He didn't touch him.
Out of position, but he didn't. Okay.
And he gave him a lane.
This is a Hamlin situation.
He gave him a lane. I saw it.
Okay.
Jay, with 14 to go, Larson might catch a couple more cars, including the 31, his teammate of Elliott as well. Maybe the 3 of Austin Dillon, but overall, because of the lack of laps, because of the cautions for green flag racing, he's not going to have to deal with too much here before this race is over.
Larson did, so the advantage that time is across the line. Well, it's down to 7.5 tenths. All right.
Whoa!
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, no.
He just blew up. I thought Larson was going to be dead.
Oh my goodness.
In fact,
oh dear
Harvick
Jesus.
Really bad though. That's going to put 4 cars right here together for second place, Gary. 5 cars actually.
This is all for second. Larson said, "Don't mind if I do." We are going to throw a caution for that. I mean, let's be real, Jay. A car blows up like that right in front of the leaders. That's going to be a caution.
In front of like 2 inches in front of Kyle Larson would be a yellow.
3 laps in regulation. Larson's on the inside, Harvick on the outside. Of course, the favor is in the 4 camp here as we're back racing here. Jay, that's probably the best launch the inside's gotten, but still better for the 4.
Yeah,
Logano.
Able to get oh my goodness, they're going to go 4 wide. Logano got a terrible start, and that puts Chastain and Byron's to the inside of him. Truex outside. They all somehow did not crash. Actually, the 8 goes into the wall.
Larson bleeding.
Time contact. Larson to the lead over Harvick, who had an awful restart compared to where the outside normally does.
Coming to 2 to go. They're 4 wide in the background here. Suarez, McDowell, Blaney, Hamlin's praying they crash because it's McDowell. 2 laps to go. Do they make it back, or will we see overtime? Bell into second place on the inside of Harvick. He would love a caution. That would put him in perfect position. They got to crash right here, though. They're not going to. Down the back straight away. Wow, what a restart there for Kyle Larson, who's now clear and gone on the exit of 4. Does he make it to the white flag? Yes, he does. Jay in command as Bell goes for second place on Kevin Harvick.
Harvick with an absolute throw job should have easily had himself to the lead and been ahead of Kyle Larson, but didn't have that great of a restart. Allowed Kyle Larson to still be right there, and Larson goes through the lead, Gary. Final time down the back straightaway, final time in 3 and 4.
The best restart anyone's had on the inside all night long. Kyle Larson win number 3 on the season. Who gets second? It's going to be the number 20 of Christopher Bell. What a race here in Richmond. It had it all. It had its clean green flag racing, get it stretched out, get even almost green flag pit stops. That never happened. But as well, it had drama, chaos again, playoff uncertainty for the number 11 of Denny Hamlin.